In the 2019 MLB draft, the Miami Marlins selected at pick number 4 J.J Bleday from Vanderbilt University. He was scouted as one of, if not the best outfielder in the current draft, and essentially this guy was a monster. He hit 352 with a 467 on base percentage and a 715 slugging and a 1.182 OPS. I mean, he also hit 26 home runs with 69 RBIs, a huge jump from his 4 home runs and 15 RBIs from the season before. I mean, this guy is going to be the future of the big leagues, the future of Miami for sure, and I am excited to see what he can do for Miami. But folks, today we are going to see how good is J.J Bleday. We're going to be going through his entire career. We're going to be doing a career simulation. Shout out to Ant Ortiz for the inspiration. I saw his Adley Rushman career simulation. I figured, why not do it with the Miami boy? Well, he's not from Miami, but the guy that Miami drafted. Wait, what? The player that Miami drafted in J.J Bleday, and we do have him in this roster. But we're going to be doing something very, very interesting. He is currently, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, he is a top 50 prospect. We have J.J Bleday. He's starting off at a 64 overall, a lefty, 21-year-old from Florida. He actually is from Florida as well, so that's pretty crazy. Pretty good stats to start off with. Vision pretty low, but overall, those are not bad stats to start off the season with. But he is going to be starting for us in the New Orleans baby case. We're going to leave him over at AAA and kind of just see what he can do in AAA and how high he can actually get in ratings before coming to the big leagues. We're going to give him a season in AAA just to kind of get his stats started. And then we're going to see how much is he going to jump up in overall and see how well he can do for us. But we also have Trevor Rogers, Sixto Sanchez that we have you know, in our club. I mean, we have a future. Okay, this episode is going to be basically trying to see what the future of Miami can do. Can we potentially win the World Series 5 years from now? Can we potentially become absolute monsters? I mean, we don't know. Let's go ahead and see, man, and let's try to see what J.J Bleday can do for the Miami Marlins. So this is the current roster the current lineup that we have, and we also have Brian Anderson. I'm also very excited to see what Brian Anderson can do for us. In simulations, he turns out to be an absolute stud. So hopefully he can actually go ahead and progress pretty highly. But there's a lot of moves that we can do. We're not gonna do them right now. Garrett Cooper is another stud that I'm very excited about. And Harold Ramirez, he's at 24 years old, at a 77 overall. This guy has the potential here. We got Alfaro. We got a whole bunch of young players that we can actually move around. But my goals at second base is to have essentially Isan Diaz at second base. That's pretty much what I would want. I would definitely want Isan Diaz to be at second base. And then we're gonna look on over to the pitching staff. And the pitching staff is obviously not that good. We got Caleb Smith, who is basically our ace in real life. We got Trevor Richards. And also, I think Jordan Yamamoto should be in this roster. Yeah, he is currently in this roster. He is currently in single A. We're going to move him up to double A. Just because I really want to bring him up as well. Because he is pretty much, he is dealing in real life. So we're going to see what we can potentially do. But folks, we're going to simulate our first season. This is going to be a career simulation. So we might end up going to 2020 something. I don't know. We might go pretty far in this. So yeah, this is going to be a long video. But it's going to be a very interesting video for those that like to see, the future in baseball, and those that like to see, how a franchise can turn from zero to hero. We're going to try to do it in this episode right here, folks. But I will see you guys at the end of the first season. Alright, so we have finished off the season at 82-80 with a 506 winning percentage. Definitely not the best, but honestly, we had a point where we were 20 games over 500, and then the whole Miami Marlins way, you guys know what happens. But folks, after our first season, we did not do too bad. So let's take a look at the lineup and see how the players have done. Harold Ramirez, he did his thing out there. Ross as well. I'm excited for Brian Anderson. A 315 definitely did his thing out there. And a lot of these players did pretty well. I'm kind of disappointed in Garrett Cooper, but they did call up Lewis Brinson, and he ended up hitting 346. So that's a very good to see there. But let's go ahead and check out the main man, J.J Bleday. How good did J.J Bleday get? And wait a minute. Okay, he's up to a 68 overall. He does get a pretty good boost. He has gotten a lot of stat improvement. Definitely got some power, some contact there. Vision didn't quite get better, but he is still going to be absolutely amazing. And I think we're going to call up J.J Bleday. We might as well call him up. We'll kind of just see how he's working out there. Sixto Sanchez. I don't think it'll let me see the AAA stats, right? I don't know why it doesn't really let me see no AAA stats, but yeah, we did get some trade offers for Trevor Rogers, which is kind of weird. They definitely wanted us. They definitely wanted Trevor Rogers. The Braves did. No, not the Braves. The Rangers wanted him. But let's check the top. Let's check the top prospect and see where do our players crack in the top 50 prospects. So far we don't see anybody. Okay, we got Sixto Sanchez at 26. Where's J.J Bleday at? I think Bleday might be a little bit more up, or he might be 50. He's not even a top 50 prospect. Okay, Bleday is apparently not even a top 50 prospect. He started off the season at the top 50, but literally at 50, but I guess it was not enough. But yeah, J.J Bleday in his debut season with the Marlins at AAA. I cannot see the stats, so I don't really know how well he hit, which is kind of shitty. But I wish I knew how good he hit, because the season for them does end at a certain time. So I kind of forgot that. So we definitely have to see. I guess we won't know how good he did, but I guess it's good enough for him to get upgrades of that. So we're gonna go. I think we're gonna leave him one more season in AAA. We're gonna leave him one more season in AAA and see what he can get up to. I want to bring him up when he's like at a 70 overall, like a 72 overall. We're gonna bring up J.J Bleday once he reaches that 72 overall threshold. All right, so we have a lot of contracts to give out, and this is where we kind of have to play it right and make sure that we secure the future rather than just spend a whole bunch of money. Just why not? So we're gonna look at our. We're gonna have to look at locking down one of these guys for a really big contract. I did put to ignore the budget, so it really wouldn't really matter. And I'm definitely looking forward to locking down Drew Steckenrider for at least 4 more years. I definitely think we can do a lot with with Drew Steckenrider for 4 years. I definitely want to lock up Brian Anderson. I 100% want to lock him up for a very long time. Maybe another 5 years, probably even 6 years if we can get it. I'm pretty sure we can. Let's offer him a 6-year, $45 million deal. I really want to keep him, as well as Caleb Smith. I want to keep all these guys for the next 5 years so that they can actually be with J.J Bleday. You know, we're gonna offer him the ace role, as Caleb Smith will be our ace for this year. Harold Ramirez as well. I'm very interested in giving him a really big contract. Let's see, we could offer him a 5 years, $10 million deal. So we do end up signing Jake Odorizzi. Definitely a friendly deal, nothing too crazy. We are offering $4.5 million, so it's definitely a deal that we can work with. I mean, we might have to look to see if we can offload Starting Castro, because he is going to be costing us quite a bit, and then in 2 years he's going to be done. But we might as well get, you know, some good use out of Starting Castro for these 2 years. We might trade him off in a couple years and just see how things go. But J.J Bleday, now 22 years old. What can he do for Miami? We're going to have to find out, man. I'm excited to see what happens now. So, alright, with year number 2, Brian Anderson is already at an 86 overall at 26 years old. This guy is going to be an absolute stud. I already know it. Caleb Smith is already at an 85. We got Harold Ramirez at 25, already at an 82. Trevor Richards at an 81. How far at an 81? I mean, the future is here. Pablo Lopez already at a 79 at 24 years old. The future is here. I think Bleday is still at a 68 overall. Yeah, he's at a 68 overall. We're going to keep a close eye on Bleday. Maybe we call him up in the middle of this season, or we're going to wait until next season. But folks, let's go ahead and simulate the season. Before we do that, let me go ahead and check on the lineup. Let me check on the AAA lineup. Let's slow roll there. We got Jose Devers, Isan Diaz, So basically the same lineup as last year with Victor Mesa up. We can definitely have a future with Victor Mesa. So a lot of outfielders to definitely choose from in the future. So yeah, we're spoiled with outfielders, but let's go ahead and continue with this, folks. Let's go ahead and simulate the season and see what happens, man. Let's go. Alright, so we're currently halfway in the season, and we are currently in last place, 41 and 49. But let's check on the AAA team, 44 and 47, and let's check on J.J Bleday. He's currently hitting .262 with 7 home runs and 32 RBIs. He's up to a 69 overall, so he's definitely improving. Definitely becoming a very, very good player for us. Just hopefully he can get that average up. The average is not that bad, but you know, he does have the power to be able to do stuff to be able to hit bombs for us, I should say. So hopefully he does continue to improve. This is halfway in the season, so not the worst result possible, but we'll just give, you know, another 300 at bats or so. Let's see what J.J Bleday can do. Hopefully he will break that 300 point mark and see if he's the real deal. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and complete a trade here. We're gonna basically send off Wei Chen. We're gonna send him off. His contract's way too much, and he's basically 34 years old. And we're gonna sign Julian Pedroza, a 19-year-old with the A potential and 63 overall already. So, hey, starting pitcher, we might see him in the future. Who knows? But Wei Chen out of Miami. Oh God. So the season does end, and J.J Bleday ends up hitting .287 with 18 home runs and 16 RBIs and 481 RBS. So in its second season of AAA, he's up to a 70 overall at 22 years old. His hitting stats are improving. His vision is improving. Discipline and also his clutch is improving. I really want to get that vision up, because I know the rest will improve as we simulate. It will definitely improve. But I'm just very interested to see how he is going to play in the big leagues, man. That fielding is kind of sus too, but he will definitely get a chance to it. So, on to season number 3 with potentially J.J Bleday, Lewis Brinson, and Garrett Cooper in the outfield. Let's see how that goes. So here we go. We are going to add J.J Bleday to the 40-man roster, and we are going to be calling up J.J Bleday to the big leagues. And it is official. J.J Bleday is a big leaguer at 2020. We can actually place him on the DH list, the DH spot. We can definitely put him there because you know, we could definitely give more space with Garrett Cooper, Lewis Brinson in the outfield, and Harold Ramirez. So that's definitely an outfield that I want to work with. So we'll just take a look at where is this guy. So I guess we'll leave Lewis Brinson in the bench because Rosell Herrera is actually progressing pretty well. And this is the Marlins team we're going to put out there, folks. J.J Bleday in the DH spot. We're going to put him at the, at the 6th hole. We might have to look for another first baseman, but Neil Walker's actually performing pretty well. 23 home runs, 69 RBIs. That's not too bad for a guy his age, but this might be his last season, so we might have to look at a first baseman and see who we can get for first base. But, yeah, definitely not bad. Definitely not bad. We also get Urena back. And I definitely don't want to put Urena up there. I would definitely rather have Odorizzi in the starting rotation. And then we have an 87 overall Caleb Smith, who is progressing pretty well. But folks, let's get straight to it. Season number 3. How the Marlins going to do with J.J Bleday in the outfield. Well, in DH, but you get what I'm saying. Let's do this. Alright, so now that J.J Bleday is now in the big leagues, we're going to do a halfway point check or something like that. We're basically going just how we do the fantasy draft. We're going to check halfway in the season, see how Bleday is doing, see how the Marlins are doing, and see how everything else panning out. And would you look at that? The Phillies are in last place, 20 games under 500. Sucks to suck. But let's check the lineup, and Brian Anderson is already a 90 overall, ladies and gentlemen. He is already at a 90 overall, doing his thing out there. We got Miggy Rowe doing his thing out there, and it looks like Harold Ramirez did get injured. So, yeah, Rosell Herrera is definitely impressing me, man. 28 years old, doing his thing out there, hitting .319 for us. Amazing. Alfaro's kind of struggling a little bit, but hey, not that, whatever. Starling Castro, I am looking to deal Starling Castro maybe this season. See what we could potentially get for him. Garrett Cooper. 350, 21 home runs, 49 RBIs. Excuse me. And then Austin Dean, we called him Austin Dean, and then J.J Bleday hitting 163. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit tough for Bleday to get used to it, but yeah, definitely tough for Bleday to be hitting under 200, man. It's kind of tough. And let's check on the lineup, the pitching staff. Good pitching staff so far. Sandy Alcantara got called up, not doing too well. Ureña's doing pretty good, but Trevor Richards and Pablo Lopez are doing their thing out there. Pablo Lopez is dealing, and we have 89 overall, Drew Steckenrider, basically one of the best closers in the big leagues right now at 30 years old. Definitely a beautiful arm to have, and I think we have a lot of injuries, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we have, oh no, wait a minute. Okay, that is a lot of injuries. So Harold Ramirez tore his ACLs, out for 5 to 6 months. We have Adam Conley, who was doing actually really well on the bench with an injury, and then Nick Neidhart as well is doing pretty good. But Harold Ramirez out for 5 to 6 months with a torn ACL. Caleb Smith with a torn hamstring. I mean, it's injuries that are gonna make this rebuild a little bit tough. I mean, a lot of bit tough. And let's check on the prospects down at AAA and see how everybody's doing. 6-0's having a ball. We got Eliza Hernandez doing amazing. Let's check on Trevor Rogers doing all right as well. Isan Diaz, we gotta look at Isan Diaz as well because we might call him up. Victor Mesa doing pretty good as well. Steven Peralta, 286. Steven Peralta, man, an outfielder as well. So we are spoiled with outfielders, ladies and gentlemen. The Marlins are 100% spoiled with outfielders. Our AAA affiliate seems to have made their playoffs. 76 and 64. Our AA is a different story, but yeah, the minor league is popping off. I guess the minor league, something is happening. You know, AAA is doing pretty good. Our AAA has won the PCLA Conference Championship, and we have won the championship, and we're going to be taking on the Bats in the AAA National Championship, and we lost to the Bats in the AAA National Championship, just falling a little bit close to winning it all for AAA, but we don't. But that should be a pretty good boost to our players in AAA, like, you know, Sixto and Steven and everybody, Monte, Isan. So hopefully they come up in the big leagues and make a big impact. Our first season with J.J Bleday in the big leagues, we have not checked his stats since the halfway point, so he might have gotten better, might have gotten worse. We don't know. But folks, 66 and 96, 407. We're getting worse. I don't understand how we're getting worse in a you know, with players like players like this. But Bleday had a 72 overall last year. In his first year, rookie year, he basically hit 218 with 5 home runs and 17 RBIs. This is his rookie year. We're gonna let that slide. We do have other years to go to, so it's not essentially a bad thing. So yeah, that's tough. We still don't have Harold Ramirez back from that injury, but man, Raisel Herrera definitely wants to stay in the big leagues. He could play every position in the diamond besides pitcher and catcher. 293 average. Definitely did his thing out there. And then Brian Anderson, 292 as well. 22 home runs, 84 RBIs. He did basically the same exact average as last year. And just one less home run and 10 less RBIs. But still the same amount of production. A little bit more strikeouts, but not by too much. And Jorge Alfaro last year hit a 267, not bad. 17 home runs. That's about the average that he does hit. And then this offseason, we're going to be dealing out starting catcher and see what we can potentially get back for him. And Garrett Cooper with a breakout season, 297 average with 29 home runs, 78 RBIs. We had now done with season number 3, J.J Bleday's first rookie season. We're going to see how he does in his second season, the 4th season of this episode. And then we're most likely going to do an episode number 2 where we continue on with his career, with, the main focus on him. Obviously, like this entire episode has been, the main focus on J.J Bleday. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next season. All right, so now we're going to be making some moves in the offseason. I feel like now is the time to do it. And we're going to see if we can find the Starling Castro replacement. We signed contracts to Corey Seager and to Javier Baez. Little bit economical. I was not gonna give 300. Well, we could technically. We could give him about 300 mil for Corey Seager, but offering the guy all that money, I mean, it's, if he accepts it, we're kind of screwed in a way. But hopefully he does accept it, man. You never really know what happens. And let's just continue on and simulate it, man. Let's see if we pick up Corey Seager. Oh, we do. I forgot to tell you guys, we gave Aroldis Chapman a 2-year deal. You know, we might as well give him a 2-year deal. You know, he's 34. He's probably not gonna play next season. He's probably not gonna play after our contract. So we might as well just get the last bit that we can of Aroldis Chapman and see if we possibly get him. And we signed Javier Baez. Wait, what the hell just happened? Did we just sign Javier Baez? And then we signed Corey Seager as well. What the hell just happened? We're going to be trading off Starlin Castro. Miggy Rowe is going to have to move over to the bench. But what a absolute rebuild this is, man. What the fuck is going on, bro? Alright, year number 2 of J.J. Bleday's career. And he is now to a 74 overall at 24 years old. You guys can see the progression of J.J. Bleday. He has definitely improved. And now he's going to be getting a good chance to get his numbers up, considering he's going to have some really good help around him. He's going to have some superstars talent around him. So hopefully that rubs off on him, and hopefully he becomes an absolute monster. 74 overall, 24 years old. Hitting stats are definitely improving. He is now in the big league, so hopefully he kind of get adjusted to it. And we have a lot of studs. Brian Anderson. We got Corey Seager, Alfaro. I mean, it's just a madness here, man. It's just beautiful in Miami now. Alright, let's take a look at the top 50 prospects, and then we'll kind of, you know, start the season. Wow. Sixto Sanchez at number 1. Julian Pedroza at number 3. I mean, from Wayne Chen to Julian Pedroza, a lot of things can happen. So we have 2 guys in the top 5. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. That's very, very valuable. Sixto Sanchez is obviously called up into the big leagues. We got Steven Peralta at 35. This is Sixto Sanchez's first year in the big leagues as well, alongside with J.J. Bleday. Bleday is on here already on his second season with the big league. So hopefully he does improve a lot. And yeah, let's go ahead and simulate this season. It's going to be the last season we got for this episode. I know it's been a long episode already, but let's do it one more time. One season. Let's see how we do. Alright, so we're currently 42 and 49. With a team like this, it is very, very disappointing, man. I was hoping by this time this season will be a blessing for us, but so far it's been a little bit weird. Corey Seager hitting 322 for us. I mean, Raisel Herrera, 254. Brian Anderson balling out. Baez, 244. Not what you want to see. Alfaro having a breakout season, and I'm talking breakout season with already at halfway in the season with as many home runs as he hit last year. So Alfaro definitely is going to come up. Gary Cooper as well. Harold Ramirez not doing too well, and then we have J.J. Bleday already at a 75 overall, but hitting 200. It's kind of looking iffy for J.J. Bleday, man. I was hoping Bleday can definitely get it done, considering this is the episode dedicated to J.J. Bleday. So it's quite disheartening to see him just hitting 200 and not breaking up forward, you know, on the further. But we're gonna have to call up Eliezer Hernandez. He is 13-1 with the 1.58. We're calling this guy up. I'm sorry, we're gonna call him up. That's it. I'm tired of this. We're calling up Eliezer Hernandez, who's getting called down from pitching. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Let's go ahead. Actually, we can put Baez in at the 2, see what can happen there, and let's get it, man. Let's simulate to the end of the season. I'll see you guys then. So, ladies and gentlemen, our AAA affiliates, the New Orleans Baby Cakes, have won the AAA National Championship. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. And in our first season with Corey Seager, Aroldis Chapman, Javier Baez, a bunch, you know, Eliezer getting called up, Sixto, J.J. Bleday's second season, most importantly, we finished out 78 and 84. A big jump from last season, but not too big from the amount of money that we've spent. And let's take a look one more time before we end off the episode at the stats that we got from this season. So, as you can see, J.J. Bleday hit the bench. He is a 77 overall. He somehow hit the bench. Didn't do too well this season, man. Under 200, but I think next year might be the year for him. He's 77 overall, 24 years old. we just got to give him time. We got to give him time, and I believe next season he will definitely be up there. But let's take a look at stats. Rasul Herrera did not do too well. Corey Seager might have won MVP with those stats. Brian Anderson doing this thing out there already at a 93 overall. This guy is progressing like a motherfucker. And there it is. Jorge Alfaro with his breakout season, 292, 28 home runs, 80 RBIs. Harold Ramirez after that injury has not been the same. And then that's how the cookie crumbles for the bottom half right there. JT Riddle, Monte Harrison, definitely somebody we can call him. Steven Peralta. We might call up Monte Harrison next episode. We got a lot of players, man. A lot of players. Victor Mesa as well. I did not forget about them. So we have the future here. You know, maybe we might trade off Javier Baez to bring in Isan Diaz to play short for us. We might bring in Steven Peralta. We might trade somebody. I don't think we'll trade somebody big, but we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Folks, that is going to be it for this episode of the J.J. Bleday Career Simulation. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If you guys want to see some more of this, make sure to leave a like down below, and also drop down in the comments if you guys want to see more of this, man. I know it's a very, very long episode, but a lot to put into this episode. Is a career simulation of J.J. Bleday, so I wanted to get as much as I can of J.J. Bleday. Let's take a look at his stats. After 4 seasons of the big leagues, he is already at a 77 overall. So a promising star. Hopefully he does good, man. I don't think I'm pretty sure he graduated from being a top prospect. No longer a top prospect. It's looking pretty good in Miami, man. And we're looking pretty good. We have not cracked the playoffs just yet. We're still working on that. We should be able to get there. But yeah, it's going to be it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like down below and also drop a sub. And I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? Peace.